Good afternoon. It is good to see all of you here on this evening. We welcome you to our November meeting. On behalf of our board and on behalf of our superintendent, we're glad that you're here with us. Those that are viewing our meeting, we thank you for listening in on tonight. We're also glad to have in attendance my grandson, who's a junior at Farmer Central, Landon Kimbrough. Wave your hand, Landon. He wanted to tag along with his grandpa tonight. At this time, we will have we're going to make sure that all our board are present, that it be on record that all our board members are present on tonight. All right, at this time, we have our pledge by Barry Maltsby and our moment of silence.
Let us. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we will have a moment of silence, please. Thank you.
Are there any adjustments to our agenda? Motion to approve our agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by Worth, second by Amy. Any questions? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by the raising of the right hand. Motion carried. Spotlight on teaching. We have Dr. Matkins on tonight.
Good evening, Chair Tripp, Superintendent Lassiter, and members of the board. Tonight, I'm honored to share several exciting spotlights on teaching and learning happening across Pitt County schools. First, we have Ridgewood from Ridgewood Elementary School. We celebrate Reagan Duncan, a talented fourth grader whose artwork has been selected to be displayed in the North Carolina General Assembly Art Show this coming spring, continuing through the 2026 calendar year. This is a tremendous accomplishment, and Reagan will have this special opportunity to meet with many of our state's House representatives and senators as part of this honor. Congratulations to Reagan and her art teacher, Ms. Lundy, for representing Pitt County so beautifully at the state level.
Reagan, on behalf of the Pitt County Board of Education and Dr. Lassiter and his staff, we would like to say we're so proud of you and congratulations. We're looking forward to you sharing pictures that you take and bring back to us, okay? I'm coming to the school and check you out, okay? All right, so.
Here.
Congratulations, sweetheart. Keep on doing the things, okay?
That's so cute. She did it with her.
A fantastic job by Reagan, a beautiful art piece, much better than I could ever do. So.
That's so cool.
Next, we want to celebrate two outstanding leaders in art education. Tiffany Zariana has been selected as North Carolina Arts Educators Association Rookie of the Year, a recognition that highlights her creativity, passion, and excellence in art instruction early in her teaching career. And I have Mr. Knight here. He's going to share a little bit more about her award.
Hey, good evening. Of course, Ms. Williams and myself and her students know what an outstanding art educator Ms. Zariana is, but this award is a state-level award that was actually nominated by a former state-level board member because not only does she do outstanding things in her classroom, but she's a real leader already in her first year across the state, where she serves as the chair for pre-service art teachers and has gotten involved even at the state convention at the state level with helping support first year or even pre-service collegiate students that are planning to be art teachers. So I just wanted to mention that this is a real honor, and In addition, I know to the certificate she's going to get, this was the award that she was presented at the NCAEA conference just a few weeks ago. So congratulations.
A lot of love and appreciation, because without the arts, so many of our kids wouldn't have a voice, and just appreciate you for everything you do. So congratulations. Yes.
All right, we're going to continue our theme of arts tonight. So next we want to celebrate Mr. Russell Knight, our coordinator of arts education, was recently honored with the Friends of the Arts Award by the same organization. This award recognizes his leadership, advocacy, and continued commitment in advancing arts education for all of our students in Pitt County schools. And at this time, I'm going to invite Miss Kathy Bello from Chicago. She's going to come up and share her nomination letter that she did for Mr. Knight.
Well, I've been in Pitt County for 30 years, and I've seen a lot of art administrators come and go, and Russell Knight's pretty special. I nominated Russell Knight enthusiastically for the NCAEA Friends of the Arts Award. He won this award because he's an outstanding support and transformative leadership of the visual arts in Pitt County. Russell has championed the arts as an essential part of a well-rounded education, successfully advocating to make arts as a high school graduation requirement, and securing increased funds and resources and professional development opportunities for art educators. He's committed to equity. His commitment to equity is evident in prioritizing materials for under-resourced schools and implementing solutions like transportation for field trips, raising significant funds, such as $12,000 last year was raised at the annual ECU Arts Festival for teacher art supplies. Furthermore, he has forged extensive community partnerships to display student artwork in places like the Greenville Mall, Greenville Airport, the Children's Hospital, ECU Educational Library, and Alice Keene Community Center. We have all benefited from his vision and efforts, and it's evident all throughout Pitt County schools. There has been a marked increase in student participation in local and state and national competitions, with many students receiving accolades for their creative achievements. The annual county-wide art show, held in partnership with Emerge Gallery, has become a widely anticipated event, drawing participation from students, family, and community leaders alike. He has also started a weekly online newsletter that features photos and articles about our county's art activities. Because of all of these efforts, I am pleased to award Russell Knight the NCAEA Friend of the Arts Award for 2025.
And Mr. Knight, on behalf of the Board of Education, our superintendent, thank you for all you do, your commitment to what you do. It's such a joy to have you with Pitt County Schools. Dare try to go anywhere else.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Congratulations.
So that was a great representation where we had a student, a teacher, and our coordinator of arts education all being recognized for the great things that they're doing. Moving to global education now, we are proud to celebrate Hannah Butler, coordinator of global education for Pitt County Schools, who has been named one of the nation's top 10 rising stars by K-12 Deep Dive. Ms. Butler continues to strengthen our district's global learning opportunities as she leads programs in English as a second language, world languages, dual language immersion, and global leadership. Her innovative approach and commitment to equity have expanded across access to language learning for students across the district. Under her leadership, testing options have also expanded to include Arabic, Vietnamese, Haitian Creole, and Mandarin, ensuring that all students have the opportunity to demonstrate their skills and celebrate their linguistic diversity. So I've asked Ms. Butler if she would spend just a few moments just to share with you a little bit about K-12 Deep Dive.
Good evening. Good evening. So I was recognized because I solved a problem. And I think in education, that is our mission every day. Until I stepped into this role to earn the global language endorsement, which is a seal of biliteracy on your transcript, that was only possible in Pitt County schools in our large high schools because a student has to prove proficiency through level 4. And the only way to do that was if you had Spanish 4, French 4, Japanese 4. And we just don't have those options in all of our high schools. And so from 20 years of working with English learners, I knew that we had students in our school system who spoke other languages, and they deserved that recognition as well. So I worked with Language Testing International, and I found a North Carolina external approved exam so that we could allow these students to prove that they did know a language through level 4 proficiency. When I started in 2022, we were able to give this seal to 49 students, and last year's graduating class, we awarded it to 149.
Wow, awesome.
Ms. Butler, on behalf of the Board of Education, our superintendent, thank you for all that you do. You are a star to us. Thank you so much.
All righty. So next up, we have Pitt County Schools Early College High School. Y'all come on in. We are proud to share that PCS Early College High School has been recognized as one of the best high schools in the United States, that's right, the United States, by U.S. News and World Report. This ranking places our early college in the top 40% of high schools nationwide, reflecting the exceptional dedication of the staff, students, and families who make this program so successful. Congratulations to Principal LaShawn Jenkins and the entire early college community for this esteemed honor.
She let me tag along.
My friend wanted to give this to you all, and I offered it to her. And then I said, why don't you just come and stand with me? Because she worked with so many of you. But this evening, we would like to say congratulations to you all. This is truly an honor. And to have you all represent us, Pitt County Schools, and we are so proud of you. Mr. Jenkins, thank you. To you all, we love you, thank you, and God bless you. I don't know who to hand this to, but I'm gonna do this, okay? So one of you take it, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations.
I'll be glad to. She's all right there. She's all good. Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Finally, in school nutrition, our school nutrition team was recently awarded the Innovation in Education Award by the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, and the Action for Healthy Kids meal incentives. And I want to just highlight that these ladies work exceptionally hard. As you have seen all throughout the district, they are always in schools helping out in any possible way they see fit, and it is just fantastic to have such a great group of individuals that are in charge with providing such nutritious meals and opportunities for our students every day.
And we lost one. Sorry for the child's.
Gretchen, on behalf of the Board of Education, our superintendent, thank you for all that y'all do for our students. Thank you for the wonderful food that they, but thank you so much. When I was in early school, I thought we had the best food in Greene County that you could ever get. But I thank you for what you're doing for Pitt County students.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
I get in the middle.
There you go.
We didn't help.
Additionally, we do not have these individuals with us tonight, but the North Carolina School Nutrition Association has recognized 2 local media outlets for the Lunch Bell Awards for their outstanding coverage of school nutrition initiatives. In the television category, WNCT's Gabby Sartori and Michaela Muck were honored for their June 18th feature on the school local school nutrition. And in the newspaper category, the Daily Reflector was recognized for the article Free School Lunches Extended for Another Year, published on June the 7th. So Chair Tripp has our wonderful awards, and we will make sure that they get to those individuals. We're grateful for these partnerships that help share the important story of how Pitt County Schools Nutrition Services supports the health and success of all our students. Thank you. So please join me in celebrating these outstanding students, educators, and partners who continue to elevate teaching and learning in Pitt County schools. Let's give them one more round of applause. And one last item that I want to share with the public. So we are currently in our year that we're working on our strategic plan. So we are starting to gather great information and data from all of our stakeholders that will help drive our creation of the strategic plan. So starting tomorrow and going through November the 16th, our strategic plan survey will actually be open to everyone in the public. So we're asking both students, staff, parents, guardians, and community members to please provide your feedback that will help us grow and make sure that we have our priorities set in place that will help drive our strategic plan for the next 5 years. So please revisit that link tomorrow, and that will be open, and it's in both Spanish and English. So we hope that as many individuals can complete that survey. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
At this time, we have our public expressions.
This evening, we have 6 individuals and 1 group offering public expression. Public expression is an opportunity to share issues of concern that are relevant to the business of the board. The board will listen to your comments respectfully, and our chair may offer some direction if our rules are not followed, but the board will not respond to your comments. Only speakers who have signed up for public expression may address the board. And when a speaker's time expires, you must end your remarks and step away from the podium. If a speaker is not present when his or her name is called, the opportunity to speak will be considered waived. And during this time period, you may hear someone share a viewpoint with the board that you do not agree with, but we do not censor speech by viewpoint, and we do not permit our audience to express approval or disapproval for a viewpoint expressed. This time is for the individual speaking to address the full board. The board does not permit speakers to name a staff member or student when offering praise or criticism. And we also do not permit comments that are irrelevant to our business, which include attacks on individuals for something in their personal lives, or the discussion of board members and their family members. Again, the board members will listen to your comments respectively, and our chair may offer some direction if our rules are not followed. But we will not respond to your comments. At this time, we'll hear from our first speaker, and that'll be Tricia Working. She's got 3 minutes.
Good evening, friends. It has been a month, and I was honestly kind of unsure how to spend my 3 minutes up here tonight. And then I realized it is November, and I wanted to come up and share some things with you guys that I'm grateful that the district does, in fact. Because as I'm sure many of you are aware, I have no issues letting you know when I think the district's doing things it could improve on. And I want to spend my time tonight sharing with you guys things that I think the district is genuinely doing well. So one of the things that I do genuinely appreciate that the district is doing is that it hires people that believes in these kids. It has board members that believe in these kids, or I would not be up here having such high expectations of you guys every month. I am grateful that this is a school district that collaborates with programs that believe in these kids, like Parents for Public Schools. I'm very grateful for that. I am grateful that this is a district that has simply phenomenal school counselors and social workers. I'm grateful that this is a district that is a Capturing Kids' Heart district, and that had 2 schools recognized as rising stars last academic year. I am so grateful that, because I have kids that go to one of those schools, and I have heard firsthand how it has affected them. I have one kid that loves that they're asked what is their good thing every day, because it's usually, my good thing is that my friend is here, and my friend's good thing is that I am here. And I love hearing that my kids like going to school. I'm so grateful for that. I am, on that vein, I'm so grateful for my kids as teachers. I had a meeting at the high school the other week, and all of my kids as teachers were there because they believe in him so much. And in that vein, my kids as principals, because they believe in these kids too. And it is beautiful to me to see that coming together. And then the commitment that the leadership has. A lot of them came from the schools because they wanted to make a difference at the leadership level. A lot of the principals became principals because they wanted to make a difference and because they believed representation mattered, and they wanted to make sure these kids were seeing that they had opportunities too. I am grateful that these kids have people like that in their lives, that my kids have people like that in their lives. And I am grateful that there are people willing to work with parents that can be a little intense sometimes because of how much they believe in those kids. Those are things I am grateful for. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have Rosa Ruiz, district support for bus drivers and classified staff. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to speak and for the important work you do for the students of Pitt County. My name is Rosa Ruiz. Tonight, I'm speaking as a parent who puts 2 kids, my entire world, on the bus every morning. And as a parent who knows what it means to trust that driver completely. A story here in Greenville last week really got me thinking about just that. A driver was charged after illegally passing a stopped school bus, and thankfully no one was hurt. But it was a reminder that safety isn't just about what happens on the road. It's also about what happens inside the bus, and about whether our drivers feel supported and respected enough to focus on what matters most, our students. So I want you to picture this. Every seat on your bus is filled. You're driving a double route because another bus went down. And you're hoping yours holds up because funding is tight and most of the fleet is aging. You remind the kids to sit down and keep it down, but it's just not happening. The noise, the traffic, and the elements surround you. Now, imagine doing that twice a day, every day, with 40 or 50 kids, often alone, knowing that every single student on that bus is depending on you. That's what our bus drivers do. Last month, districts across the country recognized National School Bus Safety Week. And here in Pitt County, for the more than 11,000 students that ride our buses, safety begins long before that first bell ever rings. Our district provides excellent safety training and behavior systems. The district has also made real progress in improving pay for classified employees. That's something to be deeply proud of and something I am genuinely thankful for. Even so, staffing remains one of our biggest challenges. Often, potential employees turn down positions when they learn they might have to drive a bus. They're not afraid to drive, they're hesitant because of the environment, the constant noise, unpredictability, and too often, the lack of respect. That tells us this isn't just a discipline issue, it's a culture issue. So tonight, I want to ask the board to continue strengthening support for our bus drivers and all classified staff through visible inclusion in district priorities and communications, and through a clear public message that respect for our educators must also mean respect for every employee who makes education possible. And to the two drivers at Wintergreen Primary and Hope Middle, although I can't call you by name, thank you for getting my boys to school safely every day. I see you and I appreciate you deeply, because no matter your title or position, when our employees feel respected, they give their best. And when they give their best, our students thrive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'll have Kathy Phelps in International Baccalaureate Program and Low Performing Elementary Schools. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening. Thank you for the chance to speak. My name is Kathy Phelps. I've been a Pitt County resident for about 5 years. I have a granddaughter who will be beginning kindergarten in the fall, and I've been privileged to be her caregiver while her parents work and watch her grow up. I was also a high school English teacher for 27 years, including 2 years in the private school system and 25 years in the public school system. I taught many courses as a high school English teacher and also participated in the advanced placement program and the International Baccalaureate program in Wilson County. When I saw on the agenda for this month's meeting that Pitt County Schools was considering adding the International Baccalaureate program, it really spoke to me. I was so pleased. It's such a wonderful opportunity for students to grow and learn beyond what they normally can. However, I was concerned and needed to bring my concerns to the board. As someone who taught IB students in Wilson County, I saw the immense financial commitment that required of the county, and I'm concerned that Pitt County Schools be very careful in allotting funds to do this program. I want to see it done equitably. If it's offered at one high school in the county, how will students from the whole county be enabled to participate? Will there be transportation for them? Will the testing fees and the program fees be paid for them? What about books and materials? I know that some parents, where I taught, were a little concerned about the subject matter of the books and materials, but International Baccalaureate is an international program, and so it requires an open mind. Students grow so much through that program. Second thing I wanted to speak about very quickly was the low-performing elementary schools. I saw that was being addressed by the Pitt County School Board, and as the wonderful doting grandma of a soon-to-be kindergartner, I really, really hope that you all will just spend so much time working with those schools and those students and considering that every one of them is someone's grandchild and they deserve the best that you can give them. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Now we have Claudia Harris reading. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. My name's Claudia Harris. I'm a retired Pitt County school teacher. I taught at Elmhurst for almost 25 years and loved every minute of it. I'm so proud of Pitt County Schools for all the endeavors that are having many, many good results. But tonight I'm going to speak as a concerned grandparent. I'm appalled that some of the books that are in our Pitt County School libraries are persuasively vulgar and unsuitable for the intended age groups. I have a book here named The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. It's in a middle school, and it talks about this man who's trying to figure out his sexuality. And this book, the characteristics of this book could include some extreme frequent hate, excessive profanity, and references to sexual activity. I didn't read the whole book, but I read enough to know. Monty, the main character, struggles to find out who he is. In Shepherd Memorial Library, this book was in the adult section. I think our goals are to protect the innocence of our students from content that is obscene or harmful, and to provide educational materials that are relevant to the curriculum, like reading, writing, math, science, social studies, and history. I've been told that parents are the key to getting books removed. Honestly, I feel like we all are responsible for what happens in our public schools. We work together. Parental rights have always been fundamental to the family and society, and the U.S. Supreme Court, and I quote, "It is cardinal with us that the custody, care, and nurture of the children rest first in the parents whose primary function and freedom includes preparation for state can neither supply or hinder. It's in recognition of this that these decisions have respected the private realm of family life, which the state cannot hinder." And I do have something that the Supreme Court has said about how much we depend on. We need the parents involved. We need the parents to be able to be involved in the education. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Lindsay Price, class size student support. You've got 3 minutes.
My name is Lindsay, and I am the mom to a wonderful pre-K kid who will be educated in Pitt County Public Schools. I'm thinking a lot about his upcoming experiences and the experiences of his peers. What supports will be in place to help him love learning and to be the wonderful, creative, thoughtful person he's already showing himself to be. I'm worried about him having limited access to books and to thoughtful discussions that I'm blessed to have been part of while I was in public school. I worry about our wonderful teachers being placed in increasingly impossible situations and continuing to be unsupported in serving all the children that come into their classroom. I don't envy the place you all sit in. Increasingly, there have been difficult decisions you've been asked to make as the current environment seeks to take away from our children and our school staff. I hope to see each one of you take a stand for our children, all our children. It's easy to talk of faith and being good to each other, but I'd like to know how you all plan to act on that sentiment. Classroom sizes could become bigger, school staff stretched incredibly thin, and lack of funding to support the needs of our students. We've already had children in our nation fall victim to gun violence merely by being present at school, a fact that no school board member has remarked on. Our country and our county has good schools despite the efforts of some that may say different. I'm proud to be in Pitt County. I'm proud that my kid's going to go to Robinson. I think there are wonderful people in that school and wonderful people in this room. And I hope that each of you speak up for the children of Pitt County, including the ones that are so often ignored. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Jessica Ford and talk about special education. 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Jess Ford. I'm a proud mother of a Wintergreen primary student. I'm grateful I have the opportunity to address my local leaders in education. Recently, there were threatened layoffs of employees in the Department of Ed who oversee special ed funding. A federal judge blocked them, but advocates are worried about the long-term future of the office and the potential for harm to students with disabilities due to the previous mass reduction in force. Special ed is crucial in public schools. It ensures accommodations and specialized interventions that address differing learning needs, fostering academic success, confidence, and independence. Students who receive special ed enjoy long-term benefits, including a higher likelihood of graduating, pursuing higher ed, and entering the workforce, ultimately requiring fewer government supports as adults. I know I've seen my son learn so much and build so much independence at home as a result of his 1.5 years in Pitt County schools, and these supports simply do not exist in private schools. And many will not accept students with special needs. My son has a wonderful home here. Despite special ed's track record of success, when news about the office broke, pundits and public commenters began selling the narrative that students with special needs are disruptive and a drain to gen ed resources. So I investigated. What is the impact of including children with special needs in public schools? And when people examine schools, they find the opposite trend. Inclusion tends to increase academic success in all students. Salend and Dehaney found that typically developing students in inclusive classrooms received the same level of teacher attention as students in non-inclusive classrooms and had similar levels of academic achievement. And a systematic review of 26 studies focused on what happens to non-disabled students in inclusive classrooms found that 81% of studies indicated that non-disabled students either experienced no effects or positive effects on their academic development as a result of being educated alongside students with disabilities. A similar review also found this, and they found that it was because teachers are, basically 3 subsequent studies found that it's because teachers are learning new ways to adapt and teach all students, so they're becoming more flexible in their educational style. And I just kind of wanted to, share that with y'all and close to thank you for letting me share a little bit more information today. I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know that you all do a lot of amazing work, and I just thought I would support you in the ways that I know how, is as you continue to advocate for all of our students. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll have Julie Anderson, Mothers for Liberty.
Thank you, and good evening.
You have 5 minutes. You represent a group.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I wanted to bring to attention something that came across our Moms for Liberty phone the other night. I got to meet a lady named Paula Davis from Indiana, Howard County, in September when I went with her to hear a briefing from the Department of Education in Washington, D.C. And then I got to see her again at our summit just a couple of weeks ago in Florida. She's a phenomenal teacher. She's a mom of 3 teens. She sent this out about iRead, their results back in Howard County, Indiana. They use the, where am I at? Orton Gillingham program, which they said they trained all their teachers about 5 years ago. Anyway, to be real quick on this, they came down with their scores, and we're talking 2nd grade, and they make sure that if they, if a 2nd grader isn't right where they're supposed to be yet, they get extra help for that student before they let them test. As of just a week ago, 2 counties in Indiana, and now they're ranked 4th overall, scored 99.3 in their reading, passing their reading level for 2nd grade. And because I'm not an educator, my background was in law enforcement and the military and whatnot, I just wanted to bring that to you all because I don't even know what reading program you use or if the different grade schools are allowed to use different types. But I wanted to bring that to your attention. Anyway, the other thing I'd like to go on to real quick is just to piggyback some of the things that previous speakers said. Though this is, I thought this was a concise way to explain to those calling Moms for Liberty book banners because we never banned a book since the inception of Moms for Liberty. We can't do that. Only parents can do that, and guardians come to the school board and do that. Parents who declare that content is too explicit for our children are stating a fact. It's not an attack on the teachers, it's not an attack on librarians, it's not an attack on authors, and it's not an attack on administrators. It's an attack on explicit and obscene content. It's an attack on the narrative that experts justify and even inquire to approve or provide sexual content to our children. The response parents would love to hear from teachers, administrators, and librarians, and it's not that they haven't heard it from you guys. As a public servant, what can I do to help protect your child? And it goes on to say, here are some suggestions. Content warnings on books, trigger warnings on books, no explicit content in schools, no explicit content in the child section of, it would be public libraries also. Maybe a permission slip, just like you would use with a movie, and the opt-out, of course, which you all know about. Parents do not fear differences of opinion. People believe differently. We get that. We have successfully navigated differences of opinion in our marriages, our families, our workplace, and friendships. We understand that mutual respect and civility is a vital component to helping our relationships and American systems flourish. What we are experiencing and seeing is not a mere difference of opinion. It is a tangible assault on sacred territory, our families and our children. My child's not your territory. My choice for my child is not your territory. The parent's choice for their child is final. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I had a great opportunity to also go to Chicot a couple weeks ago and see some of the things that they were doing there, and I was really impressed. I've been out of the school system for a while, with my youngest being 29, so even though I have 4 grandchildren in the school system, but they don't go to Chicot. So that was a really nice tour. I really enjoyed meeting the principal, the vice principal, and several other staff members, and got to see that gifted program that they have going on there and kindergarten class. Also got to attend on Saturday with my grandchildren the arts at South Central High School, where my kids graduated from, and I was very impressed. Just like that one girl that just came up here with her art. I'm assuming she was there, right? So that's all I have to say tonight. I want to thank you all, and I want you to know that even though sometimes I come up here and you probably step away and think, who does she think she is or whatever, I do appreciate you. And I don't know if I could do your job, and I don't know if I'd ever want to be a teacher, but nevertheless, God gave us all different gifts, right? Thank you.
That's it.
All right. Thank you. At this time, we want to approve our consent items, the board minutes, our budget resolution, our low performance school plan, and our confidential items, our closed session, and our personnel report for November the 3rd.
Move to approve.
Moved by Amy.
Second it.
Second by Mary. Any questions? All in favor of approving all? Motion carried. This time, our new business, Dr. Patterson.
Good evening, Chair Tripp and board members and Dr. Lassiter. Based on feedback from the board work session, I'm presenting to you tonight some options for our background check procedures. So we are, all of these options are still within our Raptor program, because that is a program that we are already utilizing district-wide. So I just wanted to share some different options with you. And that way you can discuss some choices. So option 1 is what we have currently been doing, which is the level 1 check. This is the sex offender registry check only. This is best utilized for visitors that will be supervised by Pitt County Schools staff, but up until the new process that we've been discussing, this is what has been happening throughout the district as the only background check. So with this option, you scan the driver's license at the school. Very simple as you're checking in. Option 2, which is what was proposed at the work session and continuing this evening, is the level 2 background check, which is better for our volunteers because those folks may not be supervised by Pitt County School staff at all times. They may be working with small groups of students or chaperoning on a field trip, supervising groups of students. So with this, that requires the principal request form where the principal signs off on the volunteer functions that prospective volunteer is interested in performing. And then the background check is completed in the HR department. I did add here just in parentheses that prior to COVID, this was a centralized process at community schools and recreation. So volunteers, prospective volunteers, were going to a central location for the background checks. So option 3, which is also through the Raptor system, is another option, is the same level 2 background check. This would be putting a link online and no principal or HR involvement. So just thinking about the advantages and considerations of these options. So for option 1, very convenient. Everyone gets their license checked when you visit a school anyway, so this would just continue. It's completed at the school level. Consideration, again, this is level 1, the sex offender registry check only, which is best for visitors. The option 2, central office. Advantages, looking at that thorough background check, that level 2 background check that does the national criminal check as well as local court check and county residence check. This does require principal approval. So that means that the volunteer would talk to the principal about what the prospective volunteer is interested in doing to know, okay, this does require a level 2 background check. I am looking at chaperoning field trips or working with small groups of students, and it's more centralized. The consideration, it does require that prospective volunteer to attend an HR background check session every 2 years. So we're only doing that once every 2 years, but they would have to come for that centralized check once every 2 years. Looking at that option 3, same thorough background check as option 2. It is more convenient because it is completed online. Considerations here, no principal approval, and it bypasses human resources because when this link is online, the prospective volunteer would just click this link. If it was on our website, they would complete the background check, submit. It charges us the amount of money, and it just bypasses the principal and human resources, which could cause another consideration, a financial consideration, because if you have people who are just submitting that without there being any stopping point of it coming to us and bypassing us, that's going to automatically charge. And you may have people who think they need a background check but don't. They're just attending field trips with their child or just going in maybe to read a book to a whole class. And so by having that principal stop or that principal approval, then that would hopefully give us a little more centralized control with the cost piece. So, but that online is the same background check. So as far as the level of background check, it is the same. So those are the options that we have through our Raptor system. So I'll pause in case you all have questions.
Thank you, Dr. Patterson, for taking into consideration all of our conversation at the board work session. The cost absolutely is something that we've continued to talk about, even when we've seen each other and kind of are thinking through this process. I think that's absolutely something we need to consider. Is there a way with the online that it's not a public link that's just on the website, but that if it goes through the principal, then they give the link, so there is the principal approval, but not having to come all the way in? Is there a way to kind of combine that so that so that the link isn't just open to the whole world, and us get charged for all these background checks that aren't necessary, but that parents also have that option to, or family members or community members have that option to get the same background check. So it kind of does give this, I know one of the things you had mentioned was wanting to protect the principals from having too much responsibility. But if part of the responsibility to come up here is the principal approval, how that can play into the online option as well.
So we can certainly share that link with principals to give out. I think that link would end up getting out pretty public through that process. But that is certainly an option if you all wanted to go that route. That's why we're sharing these different options and talking through. So that is certainly something that can be considered by the board.
Jennifer, then, Word.
So sometimes when I do things online, I get like a unique code.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if we can ask the vendor if there's a way, if there's a, right, so that everybody gets a unique code and it can't be shared, because I hear what you're saying, if somebody just shares the link, but maybe there's a way to do that, so it wouldn't be that everybody could use the same.
So I just want to clarify to make sure I'm understanding what to ask, if I may. So if someone's interested in submitting a background check, then they would go to the principal, and then the principal would provide them with a code to be able to go.
Or they would send it through the system. Usually how it works is they send, well, I don't know about Raptor, you get an email that gives you a unique code.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like trying to sign into your like bank account on a different device, it sends you like a temporary code.
Yeah.
Right.
That type of thing.
That is certainly something I can ask Raptor whether that's an option.
Yeah.
Through their
Because I was
program.
thinking about the bridge between the two,
Right.
but then I hear what you're saying about people just sharing the link, but maybe that's an idea. So I don't know, Worth, if you had another.
Yeah, I got a different opinion.
Good, go, yeah.
You know, option 3, I look at it is, it's gonna end up being, what will end up happening is we'll end up hiring someone that probably went through the process as well as, and how much does this option 3 cost? How much can it run?
So the cost is $19 per background check for each level 2 background check. So whether it goes through HR or whether it's just the link is online, when someone hits submit to submit that background check, it charges us $19. Whether they are, and then they go through the background check, and then they find out, and we find out if they are approved or denied.
And option 2, how much does it cost?
Same thing.
It's
So
$19 per
same
background
thing.
check. Yes, sir.
And what we're saying in regards to option 3 is that they go through the principal. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Go through the principal at the school level.
Right.
I'm gonna be surprised if we're able to get a code for the way these background, because I've been dealing with them in renting houses and things, and they don't budge on anything. But I'm just thinking about the process that we would be using. I think for the principals and for the school level, I prefer option 2. I mean, we have had volunteers have to go to a central location, and they've done that, right?
Yes,
But
sir.
here's the thing I would ask you. When I come up here to sign up or have a background check, am I going to be able, when I come up here, to get that background check that day that I come up?
Yes, sir.
Or am I going to have to wait, or someone going to tell me I got to come back another day? You know, that's what would be important to me. Because I don't want people calling me and says, look, I can't get through, or I can't get an appointment, or whatever. Now, that is something I'd like for you to answer.
Yes, sir. So currently, what we've done is put together a schedule that alternates morning times and afternoon times every first and third Wednesday. That was kind of a starting point if we decided to go with option 2. If we needed to add additional times, we could look at doing that. So like, for example, this coming Wednesday, depending on what occurs, if we were to have a background check session, that would be 8:30 to 9:30 this coming Wednesday, and then the third Wednesday of this month would be 3:30 to 5.
Right.
So you come during that time, you walk in, you have your form from the principal, your driver's license, a member of our staff, because we're on a rotating, takes you back, we go ahead, sit you down, get your background check completed, and then within a couple of days, you know whether you're approved or denied, you receive an email.
Well, have you included the principals on any of, talking with the principals on how they feel about any of these options?
Yes, sir, we've presented this at the principals meeting previously.
And how did they feel about it? Did they prefer a certain option or what?
They didn't really say whether they preferred one option or the other. We didn't talk about the online option. We had talked about the current option and then the option 2. The online option has been presented based on feedback from the board. So based on option 1 and option 2, I think principals seem to be positive about doing a more thorough background check. And I think they're probably positive about not necessarily having to handle it at the school level based on a few comments. But we did not present option 3 to them, only 1 and 2.
Mary,
Thank you,
Benji,
Dr. Oh, wait.
hold on, wait a minute.
Order it, everybody.
Y'all hands just going up, I'm trying to keep everybody, all right? Go ahead,
It's
Mary.
okay. Dr. Patterson, first of all, again, I want to thank you because we are the ones that asked you to look into that third option. But again, as I expressed at our work session, option 2 is for me because I want to know who's messing with our precious cargo, who's walking in and out of those buildings. I'm not sure who's going to be doing those online applications. I would want to know the person that's coming in to work with my students. And that third person, I'm not sure who they might be. I would like to, and I know principal that's putting a lot more on them, but these are our babies. This is our precious cargo, and I want them taken care of.
Yeah, who's next? Amanda?
I think Amanda was next.
So I guess I have 2 questions. First, option 2 and option 3 are doing the exact same service, right?
Yes, ma'am.
In terms of background checks. So Mary's concern, I don't think would be an issue, right? Because you submit a name, and no matter who's submitting that name is getting the background check, and then that person has to be the one who shows up at the school, right, for volunteer opportunity. So, I mean, it's a safe option. My question, though, because there is that concern about people doing this when they don't need to and it's charging the school. Is there a way to just kind of include a lot of like warnings, like stop, do not do this unless you are doing the following activities, otherwise you do not need to do this. This will charge the schools $19 if you do this. I don't know if that would help, because I guess I just don't foresee people going wild on trying to get background checks. It just doesn't really, that doesn't seem like a scenario, but if it was, having a lot more information surrounding the link, that it's only necessary if you're doing this list of activities.
So we are in the process of putting together information to add to our volunteer page on the website. If we do choose to go, if you all did choose to go with the online option, then we would put on there the definition of visitor and volunteer, just like we have shared with our principals, what some examples of visiting versus volunteering would be with the background check. I think some of the confusion centers around certain things like field trips. A lot of people think if I'm going on a field trip, I have to have a background check, and they get confused by that. When it's really not necessary if you're just attending with your child. So while I don't think people would necessarily just go on there and fill it out randomly, they may submit it if I'm just going on a field trip with my student versus supervising groups of students. Another example would be like eating lunch and things like that with students, or if I'm just making copies for teachers. Those are things where I'm volunteering, yes, in the sense of the word, but does it require a background check? And so that's the reason for, having the principal be able to say, okay, what are you interested in doing? Okay, yes, you do need this background check, or no, you do not.
Benji, then Justin, and then Amy.
First of all, Dr. Patterson, I'm excited that we found an issue we can have a little spirited debate on tonight. I was getting rusty. Thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Yes, sir.
I guess I'm one of the few left on here that live out in the country. Way out in the country. And I've had 2 or 3 that can drive to a school that's in the country. But driving through Greenville to come out here, it's tough on them. And because of that, and I've been approached by a couple, because of that, if there is some way that we can filter through option 3, I would be very supportive of that. I don't know if we're ready for a vote tonight. We might need you to look into that a little bit more and come back to us and see if there's something we can do. But I would be very open if you would do that. Bring it back. We'll have a little bit more spirited debate on it maybe, or maybe not. But anyway, I would thank you for anything you could do.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Forrest.
And this is just a procedure, not something we vote on.
Yes, sir.
Justin.
Okay. I'm with the majority, I believe, and with Benji, what he said is, it's 2025. If I can do something online and don't have to go somewhere, then that's what I want to do. However, I believe there does need to be a bridge formed between the two. As I stated earlier, every time I try to log on to my bank account in any device that's not trusted, it says, we're sending you a temporary digital code. I hope there's a procedure where they can do something similar. If not, then I would have to say I'm against option 3, because there's going to be people out there that see, especially now that they know it's going to cost Pitt County Schools money, they're going to fill it out just to be spiteful. They're going to say, hey, we're costing somebody money. As far as, like Mary said, I'm with her too. Like, I want to know who's coming into our schools, but I can attest to my district at least. Everybody in elementary, middle school knows my face, but no matter what, every time I walk through them doors, I present my ID. So you're going to have to verify who you are to volunteer, regardless. I guess my only other questions were, and I hate to even bring this up because I don't want to put any more work on anybody, but is there a certain, a checklist that could be formed to submit to either a principal or even central office that says, hey, this is what I'm interested in, can I get the code from you guys, or do I have to go through that principal? Like, why is the principal the end all for option 2, I guess is my question.
So I guess the principal is the starting point, just to say this is what I'm interested in, so the principal can say, that's just kind of the first starting point to say, okay, yes, you need a background check, or no, you don't, just to have them sign off on that. It is sort of a bridge between them, and so once they talk to the principal and say, okay, yes, you do need that background check to chaperone this field trip or whatever, then we know that they need to go through with that level 2 background check. And, I've had, folks ask, well, do I need one from every principal? No. If you have children at 3 schools, we're not asking you to see 3 different principals to get forms signed. The main thing is that you're having someone sign off that, yes, you're wanting to do volunteer functions that require that background check. So we're just getting the one form.
So just to verify, this one background check covers any volunteering at any Pitt County schools for a 2-year period?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Amy, and then we're going to wrap it up.
I'm probably not going to be very much liked with this comment, but I'm surprised no one else has said it yet. With the option 3, is it a possibility that we don't get charged, that they have to pay if they choose to do it online.
So we.
And then maybe like a reimbursement after the fact, if we're gonna put it out there like that.
So Raptor does have that option, where you put in your card and pay. We don't currently have it set up that way, but they do have that option. I know there's been some concerns expressed about that with equity.
Well, whether you're using your gas to drive across town or doing it from the comfort of your home, if you know you have either option, then I think it's fair. And then it would kind of get people from just going out and fill it out that don't need to. Maybe they'll be a little more hesitant, like, okay, make sure, do I really need this, or do I just need that little quick check? That might be a way to kind of hinder some of that.
That is an option. Now, if we set it up that way as a district, if that link requires payment, then it would require it here, or like it's a link. So it's the same link here as what it would be online. So anyone who fills it out would have to pay. So it would take coming up here out of the equation, because everyone would do it online and just pay for the background check yourself. But then they would still get approval or denial, and they would still be on our list and all of those pieces.
Kelly, and then Dr. Lassiter.
Two things now that Amy brought that up. Is there a way to pay for a portion of it? So even if it's not the whole 25, you have to pay $5 or something to have. I think that could be part of the conversation. I don't know. I feel like technology should be smart enough to do that. But that kind of option, I don't know if Raptor is. And I was just wondering if you could explain to us the Raptor system a little bit more. I know about it because I do go in the schools, and just similar to Justin, every time I go, they take my license. So regardless of whether you're a volunteer or not, our license, correct me if I'm wrong, is connected to whatever background they have. So as long as whether you do it online or in person, you show your license and it confirms whether you've had the second background check. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. So if you do the level 2 background check, when you swipe your license in the school, it connects your license information to that level 2. The level 2 does require the social security number and some other pieces as well, because it does such a thorough check compared to just the license swipe. But it does connect the two once you swipe and sign in, and it does that each time.
Okay. So in that level 2 would be connected to your license for the 2 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Essentially. Thank you.
Yes, because we have it set up that requires a new check every 2 years. So for that entire 2 years, you're on the approval list, and then you get notified about 30 days before you need to have a new background check 2 years later.
Dr. Lassiter.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. Forrest. If it pleases the board, based on what I've heard, what we'll do is at our work session, we'll bring you a hybrid option of 2, which is the thorough background check, principal approval. It'll still be, we'll remove the centralized, and then we'll just pick up the piece where it says the background check for option 3, and it's completed online. I will say to the board, we did discuss all of these topics in senior staff as you all have brought them up, even the volunteer incurring the cost. That is not an issue for us because it obviously would save the district funds, and that will give us a budget line item back. So what we will do is I will have Dr. Patterson draft option 4, which will be a background check based on feedback from the board, principal approval, and then an online option where the cost is incurred. The only thing is with a code, you're going to have to keep syncing and changing out that code in some way, and if you put it behind a wall, somebody has to unlock it. Right. So I think if you leave it open and the cost is incurred by the individual, then the issue is resolved. It's accommodating for those who may be out in the county. It's also accommodating for those who may not want to have to come up here, but it solves the problem at the exact same time. So if it pleases
Could the principals have at their discretion, like the ability, if somebody is a hardship, to help them? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's always, yes. Absolutely. Would that Yes, well, you're the chair. I
Are you
can't.
finished?
You have a question, I can't.
Okay.
Real quick, it's more of a statement.
A statement,
I won't confirm part. Okay. Regardless if we come up with a hybrid option, option 2 is still gonna be there for people who want to drive here and do it, correct?
So we would not do option 2.
So you would
We would just eliminate that option. We'd go
in-person.
back to our principals and say,
Okay.
change of plans. This will now be online, but here are the revised steps. The only thing that would change is they wouldn't come up here. They would do it in the comfort of their home or on their phone.
Gotcha. Okay. So no more morning or afternoon times at all. It'll just be online.
It would be online, unless
If you
Dr.
go with
Patterson.
Correct.
If you go with that.
All right.
Mr. Chair, would that please the board if we brought that at our work session? All right, we will do that.
We will decide on the options to go forward, right, Dr. Patterson?
Sounds wonderful.
Safety.
But I am happy to keep bringing options at your pleasure.
We have to a procedure has to be in place, and the time is of the essence because our children's safety is number one. I don't mind being inconvenienced to travel.
Right.
Safety is number one with our
Sure
students. I'm not worried about how far someone has to travel when it comes to the safety of our children.
I agree.
Thank you, Dr. Patterson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Patterson. You did well. You smiled.
Comments from our superintendent?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I will just start by saying October was a very long, eventful, challenging month in our district. I'm continuing to pray for Amari Young Chapman's family, second grader at Wintergreen, and Kamora Robinson, who's a student at South Central High School as well. Those two students passed away in the month of October, and I had the opportunity to go to both of those services and just greet the families and just express condolences on behalf of the district. So please keep those families in your thoughts and prayers. I also want to say on a couple of positive notes, some great things have happened. Also in October, although it was challenging, we received an email last week from the state board asking us to come and present on how well we're doing with advanced placement. And so myself, Dr. Roach, Dr. Jacobson, Dr. James in the corner there, and Ms. Amity Key will be going on Wednesday to the State Board of Education meeting to present at a press conference with a few other districts on what we're doing for advanced placement in our district. So we're very excited about that. I also want to thank Miss Amy Cook that came from Robinson and took pictures today, and thank Dr. Matkins on his great job this evening. Also want to just say congratulations to Aid Grifton High School and the J.H. Rose girls volleyball team. I was able to travel. Yes. I was able to travel Saturday and spend the day with them at NC State. Go Wolfpack, and they were outstanding. Those young ladies played very hard and they brought it home. So we're very proud, very, very, very proud of them. And almost last, I'm proud of our spotlights tonight. It's just great to recognize our students, but at the same time, recognizing our staff as well, because they are also doing excellent things and being recognized, not just across the state, but they're being recognized across the nation. And that is so impressive. And talking about recognition, there's something I would like to share with the board. About a month ago, at a work session, I shared with the board that the state board, the North Carolina School Boards Association, were giving out a few awards. And there was a submission for the Innovations of Excellence in Public Education Award. And this award is about the Innovation and Excellence in Public Education Award recognizes exemplary work undertaken by local school boards that creatively found solutions to challenges faced in their district. And this is an award that will be given out at the school board's meeting next week. And so I want to read this email to the Pitt County School Board that I received. And it says, Dr. Lassiter, thank you for your submission to the Innovation of Excellence in Public Education Award. The North Carolina School Boards Association will be honoring the top 3 entries as scored by the judges, and I'm happy to share that your entry is one of 3.
Oh, wow.
And so we will have a reserve table for your district for the award ceremony on November 12th. It can hold 10 people, but if you need more spaces, let us know. So I want to share that the Pitt County School Board will be recognized for their innovation and excellence in public education. You all are one of 3. I don't know where you fall, but I think you're number 1 in my book. And so, Ms. Rankin, if you all are able to go or want to come to that particular part of the ceremony, if you'll let Ms. Rankin know tonight. But congratulations to this board. I believe this is the first award, Ms. Rankin, that the district has ever received from the School Boards Association, and I'm proud to serve and to work for a board who loves our children, who advocates for our staff, and you're consistent in your work for every child and every staff member of this district. So I wanted to share that good news with all of you. Mr. Chair, this concludes my comments.
Thank you so much. Our board, we'll start with Barry. Be mindful that you have 3 minutes or less.
And it's going to be much less this evening. Again, I echo Dr. Lassiter on the loss of our students. Special prayer to their families and to the students, all the students that they were friends to, because that's hard for them to. I'd like to congratulate all that was recognized this evening. A special recognition to Pitt County School Early College, because truly that was amazing. The best among the best. To bring that home to Pitt County says a lot for our school system. Congratulations to D.H. Conley. Even though they didn't bring that trophy back, they still were champions on their level. And like Dr. Lassiter said, special congratulations to J.H. Rose and Aiden Grithen for their successful year bringing the trophy back to Pitt County. Dr. Patterson, I want to thank you. You handled that so well. And to the board, I want to thank you. Because in spite of our differences and our opinions, we still remember that kids are first. And that's our job, that's our duty, and we seem to always bring that together. And Dr. Lassiter, that might be a reason that we're getting that little recognition, that special recognition. But Dr. Lassiter, I want to thank you. This evening, you all, Dr. Lassiter and I asked him a question, and he said, Ms. Mosby, I did respond. I said, Dr. Lassiter, no, not to this. We even went to his computer, you all, and it seems to be another incident that I was asking him about. But I want to say to Kara, where's your son? My telephone doesn't work, and because of that, tonight we realized I need a working telephone because I thought I had sent him an email. But Dr. Lassiter, I said that to say to you, you're always on top of things. I'm saying that because you're always on top of things. And thank you, because you didn't have to go to that computer like you did tonight. So thank you. That concludes my comments. I put him on the spot.
Amy?
I just want to say, again, thoughts and prayers with the families of the loved ones of the students that we lost. It's never a good thing to see a child pass, so I can only imagine what their parents are going through and their families. So thoughts and prayers with them all. Congratulations to all the people who got awards tonight. I loved the painting. I was like, did she do that with dots? And then it said dot painting. I was like, that was amazing. I do not have an artistic bone in my body, so it's just really nice to see that. And of course, Pitt County Schools Early College has a special place in my heart. I had one graduate last year, and my other one's a freshman out there, and I see the wonderful things they do, and it's really exciting to see one of the best high schools in the nation. That's just a very big honor, and I'm really glad that we got to bring that home to Pitt County Schools. And thank you for all the people who spoke tonight. It's really wonderful to have support and kind things said. We don't always get that, and you have to be willing to hear the good and the bad when you're in a position of leadership, but it's really nice to hear the good things that Pitt County Schools are doing and the fact that it's being seen across the county. So we really do appreciate all those wonderful comments, and I'm really excited about this little board recognition. So thank you, Dr. Lassiter, for nominating us for that. It's very appreciative. It just makes me feel like, just a little recognition just kind of helps say, okay, what we're doing is worthwhile, and the fact that we, like she said, we do have differences and we have different backgrounds, different perspectives, but we all know that those kids come first, and that's the main thing that we always try to do. So I appreciate all of you, and I look forward to whoever's going next week with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Jesse?
I'm going to echo what Dr. Hodgson said earlier. I'm really thankful for the arts presentation. For a lot of kids, it is their outlet. It's their voice, their way of expressing their passion and emotions. Some kids choose not to play sports, can't play sports, aren't allowed to play sports, so it's very nice for them to have an outlet and a way to gain life lessons also. Congrats to Ms. Butler. We actually were very we got to enjoy the dual language performance at a meeting with the county commissioners, and it was amazing to see young kids be able to talk fluently in multiple languages, like back to back. They would switch from English to Spanish and just back and forth, and it's just amazing to me. So congrats on that. Early college, congratulations on being one of the best. As Amy said, what a great honor. Thank you to the people who did the public speaking. I've always said that, that's where I got started in all this. So really appreciate you having the courage and taking the time to speak to us. I want to give a special congratulations to Coach Ron Cook, his staff, his family, and his players with the way they've turned around the Farmville Central football program. We have made the playoffs for the third year, and we are hosting a playoff game Friday night against Hyde Trask at 7 p.m. at Farmville Central. So if you need something to do, come out and support the Jaguars. And on that note, as I said, we've lost a lot in this district, and unfortunately, that's part of everyday life. And we never know why it happens. We never know why it happens when it does. But I believe that it's all a part of a higher plan with purpose and reasoning behind it. When you lose somebody, you go through a lot of first holidays without them, first birthdays without them, and people don't see the first a lot. They're there with you with the funeral, but they're not there with you for those first. So just please reach out to people if you need them. Reach out if you want to. Don't ever feel like you're a burden to anybody. And holidays are coming up, and for some it's a great time. For others, it's a time of sadness and pain. But just enjoy the time with the ones you still have, and try to remember the times with the ones that you no longer have. And just try to remember that when you're meeting somebody, that you just never know what path that person's walking. And just try to take that into consideration when you speak to people and things like that. And that concludes my comments.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah, thank you, Justin. I think about the holidays too, and I think about planned grief and how sometimes we try to avoid grief. And I think it's good to embrace it. It's hard as heck. I went to Kimura's funeral and sat against the wall for 45 minutes until I had the ability to stand up and talk to her mom and hug those kids, as Mary was saying, who are trying to make sense out of something that just doesn't make sense. So I'm very appreciative of the fact that you just held time to just acknowledge that these are all important times for everybody, and you never know what the person's carrying that's talking with you. I do want to also thank Public Comment. Our special education program has a very near and dear place in my heart. And so several of us around the board are just really huge supports and champions, and so always wanting to hear good feedback as well as things we can continue to do differently. And trust me, we are watching, and we are going to do everything that we can to continue to support the families and our kids who deserve to thrive. So, and I just have not heard a more eloquent speech about our bus drivers and the parent experience, and just thank you for acknowledging that, because you're right, you put your babies on that bus every day and pray and hope they make it home safely. And I try to really be mindful of that too. So thank you for coming up, and for everybody. Even if we disagree on things, that's what this is all about. This is all about having a space where we can do that, as you saw with us trying to find the best pathway to protect our kids. So, grateful. I just want to thank South Central High School. Not only the great Capturing Kids Heart School, but they hosted the Principal of the Year Avid Tour there. And I continue to learn new things about the amazing things about South Central. So I just really, Principal Caton and her team just did an amazing job. The PTOs and PTAs right now and the boosters they're rocking it. They are crushing it because they are providing wonderful experiences for these kids through, holiday events or book fairs. I mean, it's just been amazing to go to all these events. So color runs, it's just been amazing. I do want to bring up something, and I shared with superintendent and the board chair. North Pitt High School is having a fundraiser on Facebook Marketplace. There is a gentleman who is making Christmas trees out of wood, and for $30 or $60, you can get a tree, and then I guess you're going to pick him up. But anyway, he's great. His name's Sam. I think it's Lanier. And he said the principal's aware, so please consider supporting that fundraiser.
Right. Kelly?
So this is a season of reflection, I think, as we're moving into the holiday season and the craziness. And I just remember that last November board meeting, we were voting for Dr. Lassiter to be our superintendent. And it has been a wonderful year, thinking about all of the things that we have accomplished this year, that you have accomplished, and how you are leading us. And I want to celebrate your year anniversary with us as our official leader. I also want to celebrate other leaders in our district. Dr. Casey from Aiden Elementary School, and Miss Rochester is AP at Chicago, our teacher, or principal of the year and assistant principal of the year, celebrating them last month, and their leadership is so special. It is one thing for us to see here while we're in a board meeting all of the things that are being accomplished, to say the words, to know the titles. It is another thing to see those things in the school buildings, to go to a band concert, to go to the art shows, to go to a volleyball game and see that lady from Conley, who she is nasty with those kills. Like, we have some incredible students. And I want to specifically say that it is one thing to see Miss Butler here. It is another thing to see her come and talk to parents of incoming kindergartners who are about to send their babies to the Spanish immersion program, and her excitement for the program, and you can see her excitement here, but it's another thing to be in there. So for all of the things that our schools are doing and all the things we're accomplishing, we want our families to be walking with us through it. So come out to those schools, fill out the level 2, volunteer with us. But it is one thing to celebrate it here, and it is so much even more special to see it and to see the students accomplishing those things. I feel like I have a lot to say today. Please fill out the strategic planning survey, families. Please. We've had over 400 people part of focus groups in the last few weeks. We as a district want to move forward, and we want to move forward together. So when that comes out, Dr. Matkins, we are going to blast it to everybody in the county. We want your input. It was really special for us as a board to be part of those conversations, to talk about what we dream for our district from where we're sitting, but we want to know what you are dreaming too for your babies and your big kids as educators. So please fill that out and be part of this process with us. And happy School Psychologist Week, because we couldn't do any of this without them. I have so much more, but we'll stop there.
Thank you. Amanda?
Thank you. So, of course, I want to echo everybody's congrats to all of the amazing accomplishments. I love that we have this spotlight on teaching every meeting, because there's just so many wonderful things happening. And especially to Reagan, I know she's not here anymore, but wow, what an honor. And I hope she just really soaks up that opportunity. But I did want to bring something up, because November is a month of reflection, and it is the start of, for a lot of us, of the holiday season. This is a month when families and friends will gather to share a good meal, and it's also a month when many begin to budget and plan for their Christmas and Hanukkah gifts. But I just want to remind everyone that on November 1st, the struggles of the average working family got a lot worse when the government stopped paying for a crucial service, which is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. This program actually serves 1 in 8 Americans and is a major piece of the nation's social safety net. Contrary to some of the discourses that have been circulating since this news came out, SNAP recipients are not able-bodied adults who simply choose not to work. Rather, the reason millions of Americans rely on this service is because they hold low-wage jobs, often several of them with unstable hours. They lack benefits like paid sick leave, making it harder to cover essential costs, including childcare. Without SNAP assistance, many hardworking families, many of whom are your friends, neighbors, and classmates, will go hungry. Many will have to choose between Christmas presents and a full belly. Today, there is talk that perhaps half of that funding will come back. It's unclear, but the point of this is that I ask everyone here in this room, as you get ready for the holidays and feel that excitement, please consider supporting our local food banks, canned food drives, soup kitchens, and other community services to ensure that our PCS students and their families do not go hungry, because no family, no child should go hungry this holiday season. We're a community, and when the worst happens, we all have to rely on each other, because that's really all that we have. And that's the end of my comments. I'm short tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Been a good month. I got a wonderful telephone call a couple of weeks ago from a young man. I told him that I would do a shout out for him tonight, and his name is Jackson Southern. And if you don't know Jackson Southern, you need to get to know him. He is the president of the SGA of Chicago School, and he has so much leadership ability, from the gift of gab and just being able to communicate his thoughts in a very, very mature and easygoing way, all the way to actually having tremendous leadership skills. One day that young man just may be governor. And he gave me a call, and he asked me if I would go to Chicago School and take part in a tour of the facilities there and the curriculum there. And I said I'd be glad to. And we got there, and I'm going to tell you something. Dr. Hayes had everything laid out so well, Dr. Lassiter. And Miss Rochester, who just became Assistant Principal of the Year, and all that faculty and staff just surrounded them with so much love and affection. And you know, that was reciprocal, and they had love and affection for us. And when I got there, it was wonderful to see. The mayor of Greenville was there, PJ, and the manager of our Soil and Water Conservation Service in Pitt County was there, another PJ. There's 2 PJs in Pitt County. Both of them were wonderful. And also, it was good to see Julie Anderson there with Moms for Liberty. She was there, and we had a wonderful time. And I see another parent that was there. Yep. And we just had a wonderful time being able to visit. When they got through, man, when they got through, I'm going to tell you, Dr. Hayes says, I got one more surprise for you, Mr. Forrest. I said, what is that? She took me to the historical shelf that they have there, right there at the front of the school, and she showed me that 67, 68 FFA jacket from the now deceased Randy Dixon. It was Vicki Dixon's husband. that they have placed in there for the historical part of Chicago School. Wonderful time.
Thank you.
Again, I want to mention about the young people that we lost. And, you know, one thing that I would say about that, at least there were some traffic changes made as a result of that. You know, I'm glad someone looked at it and said, what can we do to prevent this? I hate for it to be after the fact, but from what I understand, and it makes sense, there's no more left turns there. You have to turn right. I'm glad that that took place. I also went to Aiden Elementary, and they had their fall festival, and I mean, there was one big crowd there, and they were outside. And I always tell principals and the staff, this is a good way you can get volunteers to sign up while they're coming to an event like that when they're walking in the door. Get them to sign up, because every time you get a parent to come out to the school for an activity, they feel more comfortable. And because many of them are intimidated a lot about coming out to the school. And you got to make them feel like this is home. These folks care about my kids and my children. And so that was really nice. I also went to the Aiden Rotary, where some other visitors were there also, where they honored Dr. Casey for being principal of the year. And one thing that I would like to see and to talk to you about, as well as continuing to focus on this, and I would say public speaking in regards to kids, even when they're in the earlier grades. They're standing up in front of that classroom. They speak with force. They know what they're saying. And I just think that's something that we need to look at as a system, because I witnessed another school in regards to that, and it was 4th, 5th, and 6th, and it was outside the county, or not a county school. And those kids, every one of them, from early grades right on up, they got up there, their public speaking was on target. And I think our kids would benefit from that, even when they're going to interview for a job, in showing their assurance of themselves. And I just think that's something we need to work on as a system. And congratulations to everyone who got the awards, and also that strategic planning that we were involved in last week. I think that group is doing a wonderful job. Go ahead if you want to.
Thank you. Thank you, board members, for such kind words on tonight. I'm not going to go back through all that you've said on tonight, but we do want to continue to keep these families in our prayers. And we'll highlight 3 schools north of the river. Principal Sarah Ambrose from the Stokes Elementary School hosted a Hocus Pocus Title I event. The rain did not keep any of the families away. They had over 150 people to attend. Families picked up instructional materials and lots of candy. Also at Bethel School, with Principal Ashley Bell, the school is partnering with the town of Bethel, the commissioners, and the Bethel mayor to expose students to local government opportunities and highlight the wonderful students at Bethel. Each month, Bethel school students say the Pledge of Allegiance to open the town hall meeting. In August, which I was there, a student had the opportunity to be the mayor for the day. This is the beginning of a growing partnership with the town of Bethel. And also from the Belvoir School, Deidre Ingram, Belvoir's PTO, has a new executive board led by 2 fathers. Good to see the men get involved in the schools. The president is Antonio Newton, and the vice president is Marcus Goodwin. They are building connections between Belvoir and the community. They have also started a leadership club for 5th grade boys called the Gentleman's Code, where our students are learning leadership skills. Again, thank you all for coming on tonight. At this time, we ask for a motion to adjourn.
So.
Moved by Mary, second by Jess. Any questions? Anybody want to stay? All in favor, raise your right hand.
Stay.
Motion carries. Our meeting is adjourned.